And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you as always with my Friday regular weekly guest, Mr. Chris Edwards.
Good
How are you
morning,
doing?
everybody. I'm good. How are you?
Good. And so the first out the gate is let's say hello to everyone, and then we'll get to some quick news, and then we'll dive right into our Focus Friday because that is what we're doing today. Is where we're going to focus on these accounts that inspire, bless, and encourage. So that's what we're doing today. What's going on? I see Brian is in the building already. Bryson's in the building already. Good morning, G. She's in the building. She took a script out of my playbook with some stat numbers. She's looking at metrics this morning. There she goes. And so I hope everyone's doing great today. The weather in New York City was amazing
Yesterday?
yesterday.
Oh,
Man, it was absolutely wonderful.
yeah,
I
all
said,
the windows were open yesterday.
yeah, everything was relaxed. I was so relaxed, so enjoyed the day. I had a project out in Queens that I was doing. It's called Queens Bridge Projects, and a gentleman named Sugar Ray does what's called a food drive every I think it's every Thursday. But this was a particular one because it was on his birthday, and so photographed the people coming out to get their food, and then anything that were I mean people pay a little bit for it. It's like to contribute to it so that others can get, and but it was so nice to be out there. And for those that don't, my grandmother, step grandmother, but still grandma nonetheless, lived out in the Queensbridge housing, and so it was really nice to return there and to connect with people. I had not been there since I was young, so like literally like in high school, and so it was really nice to see the people there, connect with them. It was beautiful, and I got a chance to photograph these wonderful folks. And I met this amazing woman. She was 73 years old, and the DJ had the music going. DJ Nets, as I'm saying it right. And she had the music going, but this woman was 73 years old, and she was dancing and boogieing and skipping and moving her feet. And I was like, "Excuse me, ma'am." I said, "You are inspiration." You know me, I had to go I gotta go talk to her. I was like, I'm curious George. I was like, how I said, this is amazing that you're out here, you're dancing, your energy is off the, it's just off the cuff amazing. So I said, what do you do? How do you maintain this? She goes, I walk every morning, rain, snow, sleet, or shine, 6 miles.
Yeah, it reminds me. There's a woman here. So I walk every day.
Yes.
Around 4 something miles. There's a woman. She's in her mid 80s, little short, petite woman. And you can tell. You can see her age on her, but she's out there every day walking. Even like those days that are like brutally cold, you would think that all right, this person would probably just stay home. No,
Yeah.
she's out there, and she always has a smile on her face. You always
Yes.
see her.
Full of joy. So full of joy. I mean, her energy, and I'm always looking for the ingredients to longevity. So I sat there and said, and when she told me, she goes, it doesn't matter how cold it is, it doesn't matter how hot it is, it doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's sleeting. She was out. There's a field, like a racing track, I guess, right near where she lives, or park, and she said she makes 2 laps around that park, 6 miles.
Good for her.
I was like, you go.
But that's how
73.
you do it. That's how you keep yourself sharp. And people think that walking and running is only a physical thing, but it keeps you mentally sharp as
Yes,
well. So
mentally.
you have to be
Yeah.
constantly paying attention to your surroundings.
Oh man, I was just like, I was impressed. I was totally impressed. Again, the people were so nice, and And then I ended up going to the wonderful B&H yesterday. So I took the bike.
Uh-oh.
Well, I took the train to Manhattan and then got on a bike and rode over to B&H. And
Sounds
I
like
was like,
damage.
this is a deadly store. But I got out without spending a dime. My cousin.
Wait, did you go for a seminar or something?
No, I went to support my cousin.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know if I can say that very often. I remember, listen, that was my downfall when I used to work in the city. And what made it worse was it's right around the corner from Penn Station. So it literally was, you know what? I'm just gonna walk out the subway stop, walk into B&H because they open at 9. I would get into the city like 8:50. Sometimes I have to wait a few minutes, go in, buy stuff, jump on the bus cross town, go to work. Or if I needed something for like the weekend or that evening, I would on my way to the train station, stop there first, then go home. I spent way too much money in B&H.
Let me tell you, I was like, this is I I learned something yesterday. And again, and this is not, I'm not being paid by B&H, but what I really love about B&H is that every single salesperson is an expert.
Yeah.
I
In
mean,
their department that they're working.
yes. And
Yeah.
so I went over to the Nikon desk to look at some of the new Nikon cameras that came out, like the Z8, and also we talked about the Z9, the 9, and the comparison to my camera, which I have is a Z2. And so we were talking about that. Then we were talking about the new camera that came out that looks like an old camera body, but it has new camera technology. And then we talked about Fuji. So we went over to the Fuji desk because that's what my cousin was interested in. And there's this camera. I forgot the name of it already, but there's a 3 to 6 month backlog
Wow.
to get it. It is so popular. All of the millennials, the Generation Z's, and all the other people, it is like the camera of use. It has that old look,
It has a
and
vintage
it's a
look.
crop camera, but it's highly amazingly. The sensors are big and huge, so it captures so much. What do you call it? When you
Dyna-
shoot, point and shoot.
Dynamic ring.
Yeah, the dynamic range. Thank you, dynamic range of it. And I'll get the name of the camera set where you'll know about it. But it was this gentleman. He gave us so much information. I was like, wow,
I
yeah.
I love them. And the thing about it is like, from different camera manufacturers they have it set up throughout different areas in the store. The people that are working there are familiar with those cameras. That's what they typically shoot. A lot of times, those salespeople, they're actual photographers as well, and they use that particular brand. So when you go
Mhm.
from like counter to counter, it's not as though like you get one salesperson and they're walking you through the different camera manufacturers. There are different people stationed at the different manufacturers, and they know about those particular cameras because that's either what they shoot and that's what they're trained on. So they're very specific. Love B&H. B&H is a drug. It's addictive,
Oh,
and it's an expensive
who you
drug.
telling?
It is a drug.
Here it is.
I
I'm gonna
might not I don't dabble in those other narcotics and stuff. That's not my thing. But cameras,
show.
I've lost a lot of pennies on cameras in B&H.
Well, this is. I mean, here we go. There we go. I'm gonna bring that up for you guys so you can see it because it is the number one camera in the world right now. The number one camera in the world. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Sharing it. It's called the
Yeah,
Fuji
I see this one.
X100V or 4 digital camera silver. That's the most popular one. It comes in a black, but most people are like, if you're gonna buy this camera, why get it in black? Because you want that old look. And it's
It looks
about
vintage.
$1,600, and it's not. You don't change the lenses, even though you can change the lens to one other lens. Most people do not buy it to change the lens. They simply want to walk the streets of New York or wherever city they are at and just photograph. Just photograph. And it has an amazing dynamic range. And it is the most popular. This camera also created what's called what do you call it? Record pre-order sales.
Wow.
No camera has ever this is the most of all time. So especially at B&H. And anyway, so you get, just in case you want to know what this camera is, it's a long list, a long wait for it. But if you get it, it looks like it's well worth the wait. I saw it. I played with it. It is a beautiful camera. So all those folks that just want to just have a good camera to just point and shoot like on the high end, this is a good camera to go with. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you all because I was in B&H heaven. And then I looked at lenses, and then I looked at other lenses. Then I went to the Leica stand. It was, for we photographers, B&H is like going to
I know.
Disneyland. It's Disneyland.
It
It's
is.
Disneyland.
Because it's so big too.
It's so huge. So anyway, let's see who else is in the building. First of all, Elise said her husband walks also. He's 78 years old. And Elise said her husband walks 6 to 7 miles every day. So I think I'm onto something. Now what I need to do is be more consistent with walking no matter what the weather is. That's what I need to do. And I've decided that I have one of my cameras, my Sony camera, that I don't use. I use it for like video more. But I say, you know what? I'm going to take my little Sony point and shoot camera. It's pretty much like this Fuji, but it's a Sony. And just when I do my morning walks, I'm out and about. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it in rain, snow, sleet, or shine. That is my new commitment to myself. When that woman blessed, as they say in the South, she blessed my heart. But usually it's in a negative way in the South. But she really did bless my heart yesterday. And she was just so full of energy and life. And her outlook on life was so contagious. And 73 years old, Ali's husband, 78 years old. I think the fountain of youth is walking. I'll never forget. The reason why I started walking is because my son's great grand uncle, there was a party years ago. This is when Adrian was probably, I think Adrian was like 17 years old, maybe 16 years old. Anyway, I used to walk back and forth from Manhattan for work. I used to work on Wall Street. It was my practice to walk. But then I ran into I think it was his great grand uncle. And he was near 100 years old. And I talked to him like me, I'm always talking to people. And I said, I said, what do you do to, keep in shape? He was so vibrant. And he says, I walk every day. I walk every day. And so it was then and I must have been probably in my if Adrian was that young, then I must have been like maybe 30 something, 30 in my 30s.
Young buck.
And I said, I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. And I still walk. And people say, how do you stay young? I guess I can say it's walking.
Doctors tell you if you walk for even just a half an hour a day, that will put years on your life.
Omar says
walking is good, but make sure you have a good pair of sneakers with good support.
Well, I just learned, well, I didn't learn just yesterday, but it was a reminder yesterday that you're supposed to change your sneakers. If you walk every day, you're supposed to change your sneakers every 6 months.
Or even if you do a lot of walking, even more than that. Some of the sneaker apps, like I know Nike, it'll tell you when to change your sneaker. You put in what sneaker you're wearing, and it tracks how many miles you do, and then it'll tell you it's time to change your sneaker.
Well, I'm well overdue. My sneakers are old.
I always keep a couple pair.
Omar said I had the Fuji 100, and it is beautiful. It is a beautiful camera, but I quickly sold it because of the bad focusing. Ooh, Oh,
Mm.
okay. That was the Fuji 100. I showed my cousin your camera, Omar. I said, you know, Omar has this one. Yeah. So Janet says Thomas Jefferson promoted walking every day. New York is a great walking city, and that comes from Janet. Janet, I can't tell you how her age, but Janet is amazing. Another person in my life that inspires me every day. I
Yes.
see her every day. I connect with her.
Li-
She is amazing.
I
Yeah.
remember the first meetup when we walked, was it from the village all the way down to like Battery Park, and I found out how old Janet was. I was shocked because I could not believe it.
Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I was like, you're not telling the truth. I said, you
No.
lie. As they say in the West Indies, you lie. But we do our photo walks, and Janet is one of the first members of my RLP photographers meetup. Chris
Yep.
and Janet were the first two members. And Janet, to this day, now we've been doing this now for 5 years, going on 6 years. Janet, to this day, still gets up, comes out, meets us, walks everywhere that we go, and keeps up. I mean, the only time she gets lost behind is because another friend of ours that may lag her down because they start looking at shopping and looking at windows or whatever. But she is with us all the way. She said I had many idols, including my parents. Wow. Yeah. You got to get moving, guys. I mean, you got to keep moving. I can't stress that enough. Um, Omar says, I support our local camera store. I don't support B&H or Adorama. Yes, right, because you're not here in New York City any longer, Omar.
I
I
still
see
order from them
here.
because I get next day.
Trish says, just the no tax is a reason to use B&H. And Anthony says, I got my Z8 from B&H. I'm jealous, Anthony. You got a Z8? You and Omar. I played with that Z8 yesterday. I need a miracle. There's a song. All I need is a miracle. All I need is you. That's what I was
I need
singing
to
as I was looking at it.
I need to upgrade my camera. I still have my trusty A7 III that I've been rocking for quite a few years now. As a matter of
Oh,
fact, hold on. Boom. With my 24 to 70 lens. Love
yeah.
this camera. This is going around the world with me.
Man, it was so good. Like I said, I walked out that store without buying a thing. So anyway,
Shocking.
shocking. Almost says ZF is a beautiful camera. Also, yeah, the ZF is really beautiful. The Nikon ZF, beautiful new camera that's out with them. Places like that flare up my gas gear acquisition syndrome. Anthony is a true photographer. Um, there we go. Okay, we got everybody in here. We got all the comments up. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I give everyone a generous time. Okay, so anyway, breaking news today. If you have not heard, DA Fannie Willis decision on possible removal of Trump case in Georgia is in, and that is she can stay. She
But
can
with a
stay.
caveat, with a
What
caveat,
happens? What she has to do, Chris?
she has to remove the lead prosecutor who she is she was in a romantic relationship
Had
with.
an
Yeah,
affair.
yeah.
I'm not affair, but a relationship with.
So it's either him or her.
Yes. So
Plus,
he has to go.
I don't know if it was mentioned yesterday, but that particular judge who ruled on the case threw out 6 of the criminal charges that were in the case. He
Yeah.
found insufficient evidence to go forward with it. It's not the whole case. I think there was 40 something total, so they lost 6 of them, and I don't think that she's going to appeal it just so the case can move forward. even with all that being said, they don't believe this case is going to actually take place before
None of these
the
cases. Now
election.
it looks
Yeah,
like none of these cases are going to take place in 2024.
because
The
it's just delayed.
the the one that Stormy Daniels is in,
That's
or the
pushed back also now.
yeah, that's
At
pushed back
least 30.
also.
I think each
30 to
30 days.
90 days.
Yeah,
The DA wants 30, but Trump people want 90. Of course, they want the 90 days.
yeah. So they'll probably go 60. Split the difference.
I sat there and said, if this was any regular person, we would have been put under the jail years ago. We are still talking about all of these cases, and it's years.
Delay, 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 and for him, delaying is a win because it gets
Oh,
him closer to
can't.
the election.
I can't with this guy. I can't. It just makes me angry.
Well, it's just like a movie. The bad guys never die. No matter how many times you actually kill them, they
Uh,
always find a way to come back to life.
oh my gosh. Elise says the Supreme Court is holding everything. Yeah, the Supreme Court is holding stuff up. Everyone, all these, but again, and again, voting matters.
Yes.
Because guess what? The Republicans played the long game, and they put in all of these justices, and now they can manipulate the system. And if you didn't hear the latest with Laura, not Laura, is it Laura? Laura Trump? Am I saying it is Laura, right? Laura Trump?
Yeah, the daughter-in-law.
Yeah, the daughter-in-law. She is now saying that they want to get rid of voting as we know it, only to one day. So get rid of all early voting. Their Project 25, guys, is being initiated now. They're not waiting for 2025. The groundwork is being done now. So if you haven't caught on to Project 2025, please read it. Please read Project 2025. What I am happy about is that some of the mainstream media, news media platforms are starting to talk about it. I think that I'm like, but they're late to the game. I thought they should have been talking about this all year, all last year when they first published their manual. You got to take these people serious. So anyway, let me see what you guys are saying here. There you go. They are already doing the groundwork in the House of Representatives. They are tearing the House of Representatives apart. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, golly, gee. Elise says exactly. Voting matters. Voting matters. Stephen Alva says the inner democracy is all over. Yeah, guys. And this is all to my wonderful young brothers and sisters. I know what's going on in Israel is horrible. And I'm so glad that Chuck Schumer talked about it, even in his speech as the leading Jewish representative in America.
He's getting flack now too.
Oh, of course he is, because anytime someone stands up against Israel of any level, you get chased out of town because of the religious right. Everyone uses a political ball.
He's calling for elections in Israel because they need to, get
They need to
Netanyahu out.
They need to oust Netanyahu. They need to oust him. And so what's going on overseas is horrific. However, you cannot let it affect you of what needs to happen here in this country. You cannot say, I'm not going to vote because Biden's not doing this or this is not happening. Folks, you will have no country to vote ever again. So you need to wake up. Wake up. For all my young brothers and sisters. I know a lot of my I had lunch with one of my good friends from Instagram. You know me, I believe in social media is for socializing. And we had lunch. And he was like, I'm not voting. Do you know I was at our lunch table like, excuse me, come again? What did you just say? And I had to literally lay out the case. Yes, things are bad and you may be on the side of you're on the right side of history, but you need to continue to look at history across the board and be on the side of history when it comes to your own country. That's what matters first. Well, that all the inhuman things that are going in Gaza, I get it. I get it. But who are you hurting? You're not hurting the people of Israel by not voting in your country election that's coming up, that is the end or the state of democracy. No. You got to see as they say, you got to see the forest. Yes, you can look at the trees. You can look at the individual tree, but you got to see the forest.
But the thing that gets me is, these people that don't vote, they're the first ones to complain about how this system doesn't work and it's not for me, and that's why I'm not going to vote. But it's because that is because you do not vote. When you vote, you have a say. And you'd be
Mm-hmm.
surprised when everyone thinks the same as far as like, oh, my vote will help to do something. Eventually, it will. I mean, I always try to look at the glass half full and not half empty.
Yeah, Elise says we cannot waste our votes on a third party candidate, which is I can't I is that is no I better be nice. But Robert Kennedy is still in the
Yeah.
race. There's a couple of others, but guys, it's no way it's and this is the ego. They're definitely in it for another reason. They're not in it because they're trying to win. They're not going to win. America is a two-party system. A third is not an option.
Well, but it's not even that. He's crazy. His family is against him even running, and they're going to be putting money behind to so people don't follow him and don't vote for him. Like when your own family says no, he's not good. You need to believe these people.
Yeah. Okay. It's 11:44. Okay, we need to start talking about some accounts that really bless us and encourage us. Well, I just have to give you one right out the box because this is my favorite of the week. And then I love that you guys look at all the great comments in here. Oh, can we fast forward? 2025 election is over, please. Yes, we got all this in here. What's another one? He lost the last election, but somehow he got back in. Let's see who is here. What else is going on? I want to make sure I get everybody's in here. Agent Orange candidates. Okay, good. I have an account. I don't know if we've shared it before, but these accounts, these are accounts that inspire, encourage, or bless us. Well, at least bless me. And so let me just clear the board here. Let me clear this off. Hold on a second. There we go. Clear the board. Clear the board. There we go. So this is an account. It's called Valimiri Art. Another one, and what guys also during the week or during the months or whatever you see an account that really encourages you that you love, feel free to send it to me, DM me so I can put it into the Focus Friday. I have a little tab for all the stuff people send me. Amparo does it a lot. She sends me lots of stuff, and so I think this is one of Amparo's. But it really, I just love the art of it all, the models, the color. Sometimes I look at these accounts, I'm just like, holy moly, the time and the effort that people put into their postings. Here's a nice thing. If you ever wonder what quality of human you are, ask yourself a simple question. When you encounter people, do you leave them feeling better or worse after they've met you?
That's a good one.
Yes, her page is really beautiful. Lots of incredible footage. I love this page. This is on Instagram for all you Instagram folks out there. This is truly one of my favorites. It's just, I mean, she has a collection of all this stuff. I some of it, I'm not sure she's done it all or but the work, the imagination, human beings are incredible.
Yes, they are.
Can I say, can we all agree on one thing today? I know we agree on a lot of stuff here in this community, but the beauty of humanity, the minds of humanity. I mean, what human beings are able to create. Chris, you have one that you want me to put on? I know you have a couple, right?
I don't actually have anything today.
What?
I didn't
What? Well,
pull
I
up
got a
anything.
whole lot.
I thought we were going a different direction today, so I actually didn't prepare anything.
We're back. We're Focus Fridays is back. We got so well. We know we did some focusing on media for the last couple of weeks, and but this was like a little return to um, these
I love that.
wonderful pages. Um,
Ooh,
I did not plan that. That's just in the feed. So let's go to more favorites. My Focus Fridays. Here's another one. I think we follow. I think no, I did not follow. On this account on my other account. This account is a young African gentleman that lives in Lagos, and his work is phenomenal. And I again another one of my favorites. You can see the name there. I think you can. Should I? Oh, you know what? Let me move away the banner so you can see that. Hold on a second. Let me move the banner away. That way you can see it much better. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna get rid of that. There we go. That's much better, right? Look at that. And he takes these amazing steals of people, but not only that. I mean, he does video footage of himself, but the work is just beautiful. And again, what it also tells me, and that's why I love looking at these accounts because I know in Lagos, this brother is. I mean, he might be. I don't know, but he's probably not rocking a Z8 camera. He's probably rocking an older camera that he can probably only get in Lagos or Nigeria, so unless someone bought it for him outside of the country. Um, and he takes the simplicity of photographing, and I mean, it's just see, you got like a simple little camera there. It's pretty. And he just does all of these. These are his little selfies. I mean, just great stuff. Anyway,
that's
another
nice.
great account. I won't even try to pronounce the name. I
Someone
cannot.
had put someone had put in a comment they wanted Omar to talk about his phone conversation.
Which phone conversation?
The one he got 2 days ago from the Republican Party.
Oh, we definitely going to do that. We'll do that at the close.
Okay.
We'll do that around. Yeah, we gonna just have a couple of these. I want to
Yeah,
share
that's
with you
fine.
guys. We got time. But look, I mean, look at this with the birds. I just love it. I literally can go through his page
That's a
and
nice
just
one.
yeah, this one right here, Chris. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really, really nice.
Look at
The
that.
fact that he's so still in the background and then everything else around him is kind of blurred, all the movement of the birds, it's striking. It gives me like otherworldly
Mm,
landscape.
look at that. I mean, I love this gentleman's page. That looks like Iceland, doesn't it? think it must be. It could be. Don't know where that is. That looks like Iceland. It's some coastline, but this is not Nigeria. I need to dig into more about his history. Look at that. I love this shot. Another one of those shots I just love. I love cigarette smoke. I don't know what it is about me. I don't like smoking, but I
It
tell
photographed
you,
well. It
they
photographed
photo
well.
a cigarette smoking scene. Well, like this one. Look at this. Now, this is creativity. Look at that. Wow. So, guys, you could literally linger on this page for hours. Um, Gwendolyn says creating self portraits is work. That's why I
Yes,
don't
it
do it.
is. Gee,
That's why I don't do it. It takes
it is
a
a l
lot of work.
it's funny. It's twice as hard to do a self-portrait than to photograph someone else.
Huh? Who you kidding? And Chris is the champion of that. Chris
I I
is
I used to do it all the time, but, once you do it, you kinda figure out how it works for you, and you can do it pretty quickly, but
mm,
I remember in the beginning, it was very challenging.
whew. Okay, here's another one. Oh, sorry that picture keeps coming up.
Are you trying to tell us something, Ron?
That's a little strange. That's a strange one, right? And Amparo sent this one to me to give to you guys. This guy is an amazing photographer, funny, witty, and obviously there's no sound to this stuff, but um, this is his page. He's a photographer. He takes pictures of all kinds of people, but he also he does a lot of tips in his page. I mean, he is.
That is so cool.
Wasn't that crazy? Was that crazy?
I love the creativity of stuff like that.
Look at this. Like, what the? I mean, and he goes through all these tips. He gives you really good photography tips on portrait photography, modeling in nature, modeling on the streets. He lays it out. Young guy, he has all his little these doodads, these little, get like this little stopper that can suction thing that holds to any surface. Here he's talking about modeling, and his name is Taxi. Very easy to remember. Taxi PNG. And then he talks about how to work out as a photographer, some of the workouts that we need as photographers, body connection in photography. I love it. I love these young folks doing their thing. I know I get to say young folks, but but
You sound like an old man
that's
there.
like, oh man, but literally this guy,
That's so cool. Like,
I
I
mean, the
love the
creativity.
creativity in that.
The creativity is just so good. And he loves taking photos of women. That's his that's his thing. And again, so you can go through his page, check it out. He has all the to-dos and all that good stuff for photographers, but also he's also sharing his brand and what he does as a photographer. And he gives you some real good insights on his photos. He takes the photo, but he also gives you the information behind the photos. Okay. And I'm watching my time here. Okay. And I think I have one more. Any suggestions out there? Did anyone suggest anything? Oh, Tish, is this a suggestion, Lauren and Serena? Oh no, that's something else. If you guys have any suggestions, please put it inside this comment box. But please let me know it's one of your suggestions. So at Rex, I do a new ones. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Oh, sorry, that one popped up again. Maybe I need to refresh my page so that way it doesn't come up anymore. But um, yeah, let me refresh my page. There we go. Let me refresh. And that way this will not show up again. Okay. Here we go. Okay, here's one more that was really cool to me. And this guy, wow, can I say, if you I love photography in Africa and around the world. I
Love
get
that.
I get like, but this guy takes his video and photography and combine them. And oh, thank you. Okay, I see Stephen has one. I'm gonna put a star on that. Thank you, Stephen, for that contribution there. But look at this. Nothing like cheetahs. Ugh. This is his page called Life with Dan. I mean, look at the beauty. Thank you, G. I saw that, G. I saw that, G. Okay, I got another one from Elise. Okay, I'm starring them, so if you are putting them in, let me know. I can see some of these guys out here. Okay, gotcha. Here we go. But look at that. I mean, places like Bolivia, Africa, different parts of Africa. I love this. It's just, again, some of these Instagram pages, they deserve every thousands and thousands of followers that they have, because they're just so beautiful and unique.
And talking about Instagram, there's been a big push now to a lot of accounts are going back to doing like photography. Yeah, the reels are still there, but they want to get back to like the old school from 2010 and just focus on the photography. So you're starting to see a lot of pages um posting photos now versus reels.
Look at this. Guys, I can't, when I was in Namibia, I had never seen so many flamingos in my life, and they are just so beautiful together. And I love this one. This is really one that makes me smile. Look at that. Is that beautiful?
Walking on water.
Yes. I don't know where this, I know this is a particular place in Bolivia where this shallow water exists, and people have done so many photos there. And I mean, this guy is living his best life. So anyway, follow life with Dan. Follow life with Dan. Okay. Okay, I got ooh, look at that. Mealtime. Ooh, you can't believe that that snake is going to eat that big critter. Okay, here we go. I see here Black food folks. Okay, let's look that one up. Black food folks. What is this? So this is Steve says, what is Steve saying here? Okay, account of photographer Clay Williams, founder of Black Food Folks, amazing images of culture and food. Also, I gotta go to Ultra Clay. Ultra Clay, okay. This is the other account associated with Ultra Clay. Okay, look at that. Okay, and Ultra Clay. I just wish I could get the sound of this to you guys, like when it's sound here. We haven't gotten that right. I guess I need a certain board for that. I'll get it at some point. Ultra, what is it called? Ultra Clay. Here we go. Ultra Clay, James Beard Award winning photographer, member of Diversity Photos, MPW 74 photographer, 14.3 thousand followers. Oh, I love being among the cedar. What do you call it? Cedar plant, cedar trees. He almost looks like your friend, Chris.
Which one?
What's his name on your the conference call?
Oh,
Remember him?
TJ?
Yeah,
He kind of
TJ.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit like TJ.
Yeah.
I love supporting these channels. Oh, it looks food. There's nothing greater in the world. Food is the great uniter. Hey, I know that guy. I photographed him also. Wait, was that something we both did to? Oh, that's something else. Okay. Okay. Ultra clay. Let's make sure I'm gonna follow Ultra clay. Cool. Oh, corn. Okay. Now I love food, so I can hang out here all day with food. So, and what time is it? Just to make sure I want to give enough time for. Could Chris?
I'm
Do we
sending
have?
to him right now.
There you go. Thank you. I was like, thank you, buddy. Sara Mornell. Let's see who that Sara Mornell. Who's that? Okay. Let's go back to Sara Mornell. Click on now. Click out of that. And we're going to go to Sara. Sara Mornell. I hope I get this right. Sara Mornell. Is this correct, Miss Derek? I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. My first acting coach. She just wrote her first children's book. Oh, this is her. Ah, she's a writer. I love a good.
I just be on the lookout for him because he's seen the
Okay,
link.
he'll pop in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I like her page. I'm gonna have to follow her because I have this thing about reading people's. I love writers. Love writers. I love the photography. I mean, whoever's done her photos has really done a great job. Hmm. Okay. And the book is called. Congrats on her second book. Wrote a book. I've had trouble posting, maybe because I feel so vulnerable or I was rushing the process. I chose to read the whole book in case anyone could use a hug right now, but only a minute or so seems to be playing. Okay. Okay. Cool job. Thank you, Derek. And once we get our and we have a leads with another art one. Okay. And then we're gonna let our we're going to share an experience with you guys. Okay. Okay, there we go. Art for the black market. Art for the black market. There we go. Let's see what that's about. Oh, maybe I missed something. Okay, is it art? Oh, I gotta put the 4 as a 4. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, put the 4 as a 4. Okay, there we go. Art for the black market. Now, Elise is our art connoisseur. this she loves art. Wow. Okay. Am I in the right place? Is this the right one? Elise? Am I in the right spot? Looks amazing. Propaganda department, Underground Railroad. Yeah, okay, thank you, dear. Wow. The Great Migration. Underground. It's not interesting how he uses the British Underground Railroad, the railroad symbol for the metro in London.
It's a tube because they call it the tube.
The tube, right? The tube. Malcolm X, the ballot or the bullet. Ooh, that's the truth, though. I like all of these. I remember there was a time where people used to collect like the old movie banners and
Poster.
put them in their posters, like huge ones, and put them in their home. And I love the play on those movies that he's using here to convey his work. Look at that. Kill Bill, The Goonies. Okay,
One of my
cool.
favorites.
Is our boy here? He's not here yet? We haven't. I haven't seen him.
Hold on, let me check on him.
Mr. Brian. Where is Mr. Brian? Okay, so.
He said he's trying the link. Let me send it to him again.
Okay. Okay, there we go. And when you go to his page, there are historical videos. Ah, okay. Nice. Thank you, Elise. That's the idea behind his work. And Tonya has one. Oh, look, Tonya. Hey, Tonya is in the building. Our new lawyer and resident, resident lawyer, or an in-house lawyer is here. It's Tonya. Okay, she has to be. Oh, here he is. Okay.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna do this last one, and then we're gonna bring him on. Good day, good people. You already know what it is. It's launch day. Meet the new Sony. Oh, so okay, looks like a brand. Let me go to this page and see what let me see what the bio. Let me see what the bio says. Come on, bio. Come on. Why is it not coming up? Okay, there we go. There we go. London raised me. Chi-Town lately. Sony Global Imaging and Lightroom Ambassador. Ah. Okay. What time is it? Okay, we got a good time. For some reason, I feel like I know this person. But I'm online so much I can it could be. Okay. Just speed up. Gosh, I miss London. It is time to get overseas. This is New York, y'all. I think this is New York. Yeah, this is our Fulton Street. This is our Fulton Station. No. Where is this? Yeah, it is. Great job. Okay. Okay, with no further ado, I think we're going to bring on Mr. Brian Young. And so, how this ended up happening is that Brian, and I'm going to just close this out. Brian had a situation that happened to him this week, and we thought it was quite fascinating, and we thought we should share it because it was so. We were going to share it yesterday, but we ran out of time. But okay, he's in New York all the time. Also, I think he worked for TikTok a while. Thank you, Tonya. Okay, so I'll let Brian share it. What's going on, Mr. B?
What's up, sir?
Happy Friday.
You have 5 minutes to get it all in.
Okay. Well, I will. I can go on, but I'll try to give the cliff note. I shared with you guys in a group text because I'm glad I had the frame of mind to do a screenshot when the calls came in, and they kept coming. So I got calls from what showed up on my phone as Donald Trump, and that's probably going to be the first and last time y'all actually hear me say that excuse for a human being's name. What, last couple of mornings ago now, was that Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday morning, and it was just it was surreal. First call, I looked and said, "What?" I ignored it. Second call, ignored that. The third call, I said, "You know what? All right, let's go, let's rumble." And I picked up, and in my mind, I was very respectful. In my mind, I was thinking, I'm curious how this is going to go. This may sound sadistic, but I was like, I'm curious if I could get them to hang up on me. And sure enough, and I was very respectful. And when I started peppering facts, and I could tell either A, she had a script. If she did, she wasn't using it. And B, it got uncomfortable. And then it was like, I said, hello, click. So specifically what I share with you guys, and I'll the Cliff Note version, but.
And these are the Trump callers.
Yeah. So
and for those that don't know, I'll jump in just real quick. For those that don't know, Michigan is a important state for the election. Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Nevada, North Carolina. Those are very crucial states in the election that's coming up. So just to kind of give you this backdrop, because they're not calling everybody around the country. They're calling folks in these battleground states.
And I'm very active. I'm very politically active. You know, I maybe I'll repost photos from last year, the year before, when I met our Democratic governor, Gretchen Whitmer, Hill Harper, known to many as an actor, but he's running for a Senate seat here in Michigan. I'm supporting him and involved with his campaign, and so they have my information or my numbers out there, but to receive that call was off-putting, because I'm like, really, and what got me, I'll condense it. What got me was when I started peppering with facts, and I was told, well, quote unquote, well, it's your duty as a black man to vote for Trump. He has your best interest in heart. And it took every ounce of my ancestors, my sanity, to not, because up until that point, I'm proud of myself. I was very level-headed and even keeled, but that had my neck twitching, and I just clapped back with, oh, really? So when I marched on Washington with a group of my friends and CQ family members, etc. But I didn't say that. But I just said, so how is he? What is he doing that's within my best interest? As you say, as a black man, because I'm not seeing it, and here are the facts that I know of. How many people of, and I broadened it, but I said, how many people of color or African Americans did he as to lifetime positions as judges throughout our American legal system? And she was quiet. And I said, so when I marched on Washington after the brutal murder that the entire world saw of George Floyd, peaceful protesting, he wanted to have our U.S. military clear all of these protesters. It was a mixture. It was a mixed bunch, black and non-black. Mm-hmm. And I brought that up and quiet. And I said, you know, I just peppered with facts. And then I could tell she was like, what? And I said, oh, the one that got me was, well, he's going to give you, he'll give you and your community stimulus checks. And then I clapped back politely. I said, he wasn't responsible for the last stimulus check. And she's like, yes, he was. His name was on it. And I said, Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party, they were the ones responsible that were pushing for that, for not just for the African American community, but and I can't remember, I got in a zone, but I think I said, but for all Americans, regardless of skin tone, because at that time, we were up against something that was unprecedented, that none of us had seen in our lifetime. And then she was trying, so that one got me, and I can't remember what I think I started to get in on his flip-flopping on Roe v. Wade and abortion, and then that's when she hung up. And then fast forward, they called back again. And I saw the photo I sent you guys the second time, which I should have cropped it, because I was like, here's real life. I was dealing with a flat tire. That I'm a car guy and I couldn't get off, so I had to wait for AAA. So while AAA was on the way, I'm sitting up here. I'm like, these mofos calling again. So I got a guy, and he started to man, I swear, this is like lightweight, re-traumatizing, and therapeutic at the same time. Because when I called him to task on, again, it was the same thing. What, the black community, he can do, and I'm like, no. I said it'll be a cold, I said it'll be at the end of ours. I said, all due respect, sir, it'll be a cold day in hell on Mars that me or any of my children will vote for that excuse of a man. And I rattled off, I said, 91 counts. I just rattle off. And then I kind of pushed back as he tried to do the evangelical thing. He said, are you a Christian? Yeah. And I said, I am. I said, I do consider myself a Christian. And I just said, I don't know what type of Christianity you follow, but the God that I pray to is inclusive of everyone. I'm not trying to tell someone who may be a Muslim or atheist that they don't belong. And again, crickets, quiet. And the kicker, and I brought back up my experience marching on Washington for, during COVID. And then there's so much in the short couple of minutes that I had with each of these representatives, but I just unloaded with both barrels. I wasn't disrespectful. I think the more I feel like the more they tried to piss me off, the calmer I got, and that threw them off. When I'm like, oh yeah, how's your day going? Yeah, well, I'm dealing with a flat tire right now. So, when I was marching on Washington, none of us that I could recall ever decided that we were going to just overthrow the government. But January 6th, he lost the election. And this guy had the gall to tell me, well, there were more black people at January 6th than. And I actually, that's when, my armor cracked, because even the tow truck driver that was changing my wheel, I actually, excuse my language, I said, what the fuck? And I'm sorry, sir. You really believe that? And I said, I don't. We disagree. I said, I guess we disagree, but no, he's not getting my vote. And then I went on to something else, and then that's when hung up. And yeah, that's
Well, my thing is that as soon as Trump got the what they call the nomination, meaning he had all the votes, the numbers, electoral votes that he needed for to be the leading candidate for the Republican Party for the election. On that same day is when they reached out to you, and what is amazing to me is all of the layers that they I mean, and this is not really towards women, this is not to Black women. This is to Black men, because they really feel like we can get the Black men, it's easier to get the Black men to become Trump supporters than it is to get Black women to support Trump.
not
And I mean, but listening to, you know, because you were you sent some of these to me, and I was looking and reading, and I said they've narrowed it down to several key points that they think Black men adhere to. The check, like, you got to get a check. And it's almost like this. They have this like process of elimination. Like they're going through the list. Okay, that didn't work. Well, you're a Christian, aren't you? I mean, so we bring this up to kind of put it on your radar. To put it on your radar, Black men, have you received the call? I haven't received the call because I'm not in the battle state. But this is what's going on in the battle states, which is ironic because they just suspended and ended their minority outreach.
Yep.
The Republicans
on the same day.
On the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So obviously they've now gone to automation of some kind. But this was wild. That was wild to me.
Well, I know what. Sorry to.
So Brian, someone asked me the question. They said, "Do you have a private number, or is your number open to the public?"
It's I believe it's open because it's also I've had to consolidate. It's also my business line.
See, that's where they get you. Yeah, that's what I get mine on my business number, right? Because my regular number is private. Right, gotcha.
But maybe I'm a glutton for punishment, but I'm at a stage in my life where I'm not gonna. If you're gonna call. I have power whether I'm gonna pick up or not. Like I told you guys, the first time it was 3 times they called, and I don't know if this would even come up on the camera here, but here, let me show you the screenshot. Oh, I guess I should hide the phone number, but but it came up as Donald Trump, and I was like,
Trump. What? Yeah, that's right. Because you just right. The first thing you said, Donald Trump is calling me.
I was like, so for those that private or not phone number.
I was shocked. I couldn't. Yeah, I mean, literally, and they say Donald. I mean, has the Donald Trump. Donald Trump is calling you. So, yeah. But just again, we bring this up so that people can just be aware of what's going on. I'm sure there's a whole lot more that's going to be coming up, but that was kind of crazy. Adrian says, the scary thing is the number of uninformed Black folks that might get swayed by this by these tactics. Yeah, it's because there's so many, and this is not a biased thought when it comes to Black men, but most Black men are not thinking. I mean, unless you're a geek like myself or Chris, or we think about politics. We think about, but most Black guys are not. They're not. I mean, they're trying to survive. They're going to work. They're trying to take care of their family. They're not sitting around saying, "Oh well, there's a gimmick going on," and then especially in these battleground states, because that's where it's happening.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
that is true. The scary thing is that I have several brothers of mine, church brothers, I call them, that we grew up in church with, and they were like, Trump is the better guy. He's younger, and Biden's old.
Like what, 2 years?
And I was like, it was like I'm sitting there like, can I
false
break this
narrative.
down to you a little bit? But again, we have to educate our community
And
across the country. We have to, and all the Black women out there, because Black women are powerful. And believe it or not, you have a whole lot of power when it comes to your Black man. If but it's. I remember I used to be in Foot Locker. I used to work for Foot Locker, and I would watch the Black men come in and decide on what sneakers they wanted. And if their Black woman said, do you know most of the time, it was like 90% of the time, the Black man will say, no, my girl says no, can't buy it. It used to blow my mind that Black women have so much power, even in the buying decisions of their husbands, boyfriends. It blew me away. I would say, holy moly, the best way to, so we as salespeople said the best way to get a Black guy to buy the sneakers is to help the Black woman like the sneaker too. You have to incorporate her into the decision making, because that was the power. And so I just said, that was just my observation working at Foot Locker, working with, being a manager at Foot Locker, and back in the day, back in my clouded days of life. but it gave me lots of insight. One of the things about because we were right in the middle of the Black community, and I learned very early on, because of that experience, the power of Black women in the community. Black women are usually the most informed. They are usually the most geared and wired to seek out information. And not to say Black guys don't do it, but Black guys do, but most of the time, Black men, especially if they're raising families, they're busy trying to make ends meet. And women have this amazing gift of juggling layers of tasks at hand. Adrian says, I miss those Foot Locker discounts. And I used to come home with these jerseys and T-shirts and all that stuff. But that was back in the day.
If I could,
spoken like a true son, right? I miss those discounts. I don't miss Foot Locker at all.
if I could add to what you're saying there, and sorry, I can't see if you guys see me looking off. I can't see the comments over here, but I can see them over here. But I would encourage. I would encourage. It's like one of my speeches I give is I entitled it, "It's How Hungry Are You?" And I give that to like young people. I gave it to entrepreneurs at a miniature business thing. But the gist of it is, how hungry are you? And this applies, I think, to a lot of things in our lives. How bad, and how that relates to this call I got and other things. We all are juggling, in our lives. That morning, I think I've shared with Ron why I'm like hit or miss sometimes, because raising my son now. I just dropped him off to school. I'm trying to hustle to go do some other stuff, just whatever. And then boom, I get a flat tire.
You're being dad. You're being dad.
But how hungry am I? If I'm in the shower and able to, I'll be listening to, a news segment or a documentary clip, you name it. you know, how hungry are you? We can get knowledge, and to me, if there's anything I could share or my takeaway from this experience is that that cliche knowledge is power.
It
Because
is.
what it was, I felt like Neo in the Matrix. Because when oh boy, what the girl or the female, well, you know, the stimulant, he'll get you another stim. He will get you, and I'm like he didn't do the last one. I mean, yeah, he stopped
they
it.
they fought against it. They fought
Yeah,
against it. And anyway, but guys, we gotta let you. I gotta let the group go. Oh, did he freeze? Did he freeze? He froze. So we're gonna let you guys go because it's already 12:30. I like to be
yeah.
conscious of your time.
Oh yeah.
But guys and gals, be especially in the battleground states, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Did I get them all? Those are the 5 battleground states. Yeah. So just really be on guard. And can we educate our brothers and sisters in our communities? People of color, we have to educate Spanish brothers, Asian brothers. We have to educate our men to know what the game plan is because they feel like, oh, black men are not as intuitive to this stuff. So we can get to them. And again, you're just doing your thing. So anyway, guys,
Wrong.
let's see here. Kimmy says perfect time to honor women, Ron. Women's History Month. Yeah, women are the look. I mean, most of us are the men we are because of some incredible women.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, Elisa is exactly right. So really, just focus in on what's going on out there. Also, Bryson says to remember the NAACP Image Awards is tomorrow, and who's watching? So we're not on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, but I'll be on somewhere in the city on Instagram. Okay, so guys, and Chris, you have anything you want to just share? Any closing? Oh, we don't hear you. We can't hear you. There you go. You're back, Chris.
Oh, there you go. Sorry about
There
that. I
you
had
go.
myself on mute. No announcements today. Just have a great weekend.
And Brian, thank you for sharing your story, man. That was like when you shared you got the Trump. Donald Trump is calling. I was like Trump. I was like Trump is calling. I was like, when did you become such a big fish in Michigan? So anyway, guys, have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back on Monday with our Motivation Monday and our next week. But also, again, like Elisa's saying here, vote, vote, vote. Please talk to your friends, your family about voting. And yes, there's a lot of stuff going on overseas, but we have to focus on what's going on here too. We can do 2 things at once.
Mm-hmm.
We are all smart people, and we can do both at the same time. Okay, guys,
Yep.
I think we are out of here. And so I will see you guys somewhere in the weekend.
All right.
Later.